Hey guys, Bridgie here, and in this video we're going to talk about how much you can make as UI UX designer, and I'm also going to discuss 3 key lessons which I learned from over the past decade working as a designer and from making 6 figures for the first time last year. So nowadays the UI UX design industry and also web design industry is booming simply because more and more companies and agencies are working remotely, and also the fact that technology is simply continually growing. So there's definitely plenty of demand, but in order to answer the question how much you can make as a UI UX designer, there's several variables involved. In fact, I'm going to mention a resource which is going to enable you to check all the variables for your specific situation and have a understanding and a better idea of what could be the expected salary in your specific case. But generally speaking, and I'm talking really broadly here because I'm not considering differences in geography and also experience. Generally speaking, if you have some years of experience and you're not working in a third world country, or at least for clients in third world countries, which are going to usually pay you less, but that's not at all the case sometimes. Usually, I think that the average would be anything between $50,000 and $100,000. It really depends again. Some countries are paying way less than that, other ones are paying even more. So it really depends. But now let's have a look at this website, which is going to give you a much better understanding for your specific situation. So we are here on uxdesignersalaries.com, and as you can see, this website is all about UX designer salaries. And they literally asked 3,743 designers in 107 countries how much they get paid. And they basically have some stats around that. So as I mentioned earlier, the average very roughly goes between $52,000 and also 100,000 in Switzerland. Now, if you scroll down, you can see all of the different countries, the number of submissions, so you can see how much data was actually acquired in order to generate these numbers, and the average salary, and also the average salary with 0 to 3 years of experience, 4 to 7 years of experience, 8 to 12, and more than 13 years of experience. So these are all the different countries, and this can be really useful. Now, another great resource which I recommend you is Glassdoor, and essentially this is another resource which you can leverage in order to find the average salary at a specific company. So that's Glassdoor, and you'll need to sign up, but essentially what this website allows you to do is to find the average salary at some companies. So definitely check it out. It's not a guarantee that you're going to see the average salary, but it's definitely a great place to check if you're interested in that information. Okay, now let's talk about some of the lessons which I learned from working with over 40 clients and managing to make it for the first time 6 figures in euros last year. So the very first lesson, which I highly recommend you to focus on once you have a portfolio, once you have some years of experience, is to absolutely focus on quality clients. Now, I literally created an Excel spreadsheet where I analyzed all the different clients that I had during the year, and I was freelancing, so I was working with a lot of clients. And essentially at the end, I noticed a clear pattern, and that is that the better clients that I had were paying me way more, and they were also way easier to work with. So I would make more money in less time, provide better quality results, and it was simply due to the fact that I selected those clients and I was very picky with the process of qualifying those clients, which is something that I also teach in my outreach and sales course. And essentially this enables you to find clients where you can create a win-win situation and that are going to respect your work, pay you on time, pay you well, and also be straightforward and easy to work with overall. So definitely quality clients. I can tell you, even with all the experience that I have, if I select bad clients, I can have such a worse experience, get less paid, and it's not even due to my knowledge. It's simply due to the fact that you're working with the wrong client. So this is really important to keep in mind because they can literally make or break your business, especially if you're a freelancer. Now, the second thing which I learned is to focus on management and organization. Now, this might seem something taken for granted, but in the previous years when I started working as a designer and I was making way less than what I'm making now. I remember that I wasn't really as good as in management and organization. So even things when you're working as a freelancer, even things like organizing your calls all in one part of the day. So I would usually stack them in the morning so that then I can focus on the actual work in the evening. And this makes it so much easier than having one call, then jump into some complex web app work, and then having a call 45 minutes later, and then refocusing and getting into work mode. It's almost like switching from design mode to developer mode, like constantly all the time. So if you can batch it into segments and easy to digest chunks, if you wish, in the days, you can literally make it so much easier for yourself. Now, another thing which really helped and that really helped me get the break is to learn sales and outreach. And this is something which they don't teach you in the design school, but especially if you're working remotely as a freelancer, as I did for all the past years, learning how to acquire clients on demand is I wouldn't even call it a skill, it's a superpower because it gives you not only the confidence to reject possible clients that you don't want to work with, but it also gives you the ability to just sleep well at night and have an abundance mindset when it comes to clients. So you can literally pick and choose the clients that you want to work with because you know that even if a deal doesn't go well, you can always find a new client and hop on new discovery calls until you find the clients which are ideal for you. Now, personally, I took the hard route and the very long one and expensive because I actually hired coaches and mentors. And by coaches and mentors, I didn't really focus on like gurus or anything like that. I literally contacted CEOs and top managers at marketing companies because I know that those guys are really good at marketing and finding new clients and generating new leads. So essentially I thought, well, they're even better than the average designer. So I'm just going to focus and understand and learn from the experts in this very field. That was really useful, but I did spend over 10K in between courses, coaching calls, and I would say I definitely not regret it because now I can generate so much more, and especially remotely, which I think adds an extra on top of it. But I would say that you can definitely learn all of this for much cheaper and pretty much giving it all away in my courses, which are like not even a tenth of what I spent. It's like 100 or something like that. But essentially, you can also find a lot of these informations that I'm sharing completely for free in my videos on YouTube. So if you want to check my videos on outsource and on sales, you can also learn quite a bit from those as well. But essentially, this is really going to give you an edge compared to all the other designers who are just posting designs on social media, hoping that a client will contact them and that something is going to happen. But that's hope marketing. It's not direct and really, it's not going to yield a guaranteed result. And the other ways aren't either, but they're much more focused. And I can tell you, I know how to generate leads now. And it's almost like a mathematical formula. You know that it's a numbers game, and some things, if you operate correctly, are going to happen. And on a last note, I just want to tell you that it takes time. Again, guys, I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not saying that even last year, I made for the first time 6 figures. It's not something that I did in like 3 months after I bought a magic course, which told me like how to do all sorts of different things. I invested a lot. I literally didn't had like weekends, and I'm not saying that it's going to take you like all that this time. You can definitely do it, much shorter and more efficient way than I did. That's 100% for sure. You can make even more than that. I'm just telling you that it takes time, so don't put all sorts of different pressures on yourself, especially if you're a junior designer. I remember when I first started out, I was a bit overwhelmed at first. I was like, oh my God, is this job going to ever going to be like easier? Everything's so complicated. But then you start seeing patterns, everything starts clicking, you have more opportunities than ever. And yeah, it's just amazing how this works if you just stick at it. So just keep going, and yeah, hope this video was helpful for some of you out there, and I'll see you in the next one.